All right.
Right on.
Beyond Thunderdome.
Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
The most ass backwards Mad Max movie ever. This movie sucks, bro.
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you.
This movie is terrible.
You have no appreciation for bad movies.
I guess I don't. Jude, take it away. What's it all about?
1985, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, rated PG-13. Runtime of 1 hour 47 minutes. This had a budget of $10 million. What do you think this brought in?
I hope
I'm going
it
to go with me
bombed.
first.
Please tell me it bombed.
Vader?
$10 million budget?
$10 million.
47 million.
28 million.
Let's split the difference at $36 million.
Okay.
You both win half a speedboat.
Go ahead. Take it away.
In a double cross no one saw coming, helicopter Bestie stole all of Max's supplies and escaped to Barter Town to blend in and lie low. Max tracks him there, but before he can make contact with his fists, he's recruited by evil Tina Turner, who don't need another hero. She needs a warrior. She's the law of the land, but her nemesis has the power over what powers Barter Town, the underground methane farm. If Max kills the muscle behind the little man, Tina will stock him up with provision treasure. Why are you shaking your head so aggressively?
So stupid. So stupid.
If Max kills the muscle behind the little man, Tina will stock him up with provision treasure, but no one can know she orchestrated it. Max devises a plan to get Blaster into the Thunderdome, where 2 men enter, but only 1 can leave. He defeats Blaster in battle, but hesitates just before delivering the killing blow. Blaster's counterpart, Master, runs into the dome to plead for mercy, and Max reveals his scheme with ETT, which places him in a new predicament. Bust a deal, face the wheel. When the wheel of misfortune decrees that Max will face the gulag, he's exiled to the Wasteland, where he's found by a young woman. She brings him back to the oasis of abandoned children, thinking he's the foretold savior, Captain Walker, come to take them home. When he tells them there's no home to go to, they go out into the desert themselves to look for civilization in defiance. Knowing the naive kids will only find brutality and hardship if they reach Barter Town, he follows them and ends up in the crossfire of Evil T's grab for power. When he happens across his old bestie, he leverages the unsettled score he has to get Bestie to give the kids a Red Baron ride to safety and keep them out of the clutches of Evil Turner and her horde of doll head-wearing minions. Discuss. What is with those fucking doll heads?
I don't know.
What's wrong?
This movie sucks. It's
Why?
not. It's the worst Mad Max movie ever. It's not
I
even. I
do
struggle.
not disagree,
I struggle
but
to
I
call
understand how you feel.
I struggle to call it a Mad Max movie.
I feel like this was like, we're going to make Tina Turner a movie star.
Well, that's what it was.
Yeah. And they had just like the rights to Mad Max. So they were like, we're going to build this around that.
So the story behind the making of this movie is that George Miller wanted to make a Lord of the Flies movie.
Okay.
And nobody would give him money to do that. And so he's like, what if we put Mad Max in it? And they're like, okay, we'll give you some money to do that.
We're listening.
Yeah. And so like the whole thing with like the kids and like the Oasis and stuff like that, that was his like post-apocalyptic Lord of the Flies movie that he really wanted to do, kind of wrapped in a Mad Max kind of box, I guess you could say.
It was a mistake. It was a misuse of Mad Max.
Alex, have you ever read or watched Lord of the Flies?
The only part of that movie I've seen is when the rock falls on the fat kid's head.
Okay.
That's,
Just curious.
That's all I've seen. I don't think I'd be into that movie.
Well, you know, it was funny because when they made The Road Warrior, that was originally supposed to be the last Mad Max movie, because Mad Max had his arc where in the first movie he lost his humanity and he became the thing that he always fought against. And then in The Road Warrior, he regained his humanity by helping these people survive the onslaught of the Marauders. And so like that was like his complete character arc, where it was like, okay, Mad Max is now like a thing of legend, and you know, like his story survives, and like this is the end of his story. And then when they brought him back for Thunderdome, they were just kind of like, what do we do with him? I don't know. So
I mean, he's still alive.
yeah, he's still alive.
So
He's still a badass.
let's have a new story.
It's so stupid.
The only part of this that I actually enjoy is the Thunderdome part.
And that's the thing that's kind of permeated pop culture the most from these Mad Max films is like, you know, everyone knows 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Well, that's what
Right.
they named the fucking movie.
Yeah. The whole setup to this movie is why did his buddy from the last movie come and betray him? Or is it a different character?
That's actually, I feel like it was supposed to be the same character,
No.
but it wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So-
basically it's the same actors.
Right.
But it's a completely different character.
But he's also just happens to be like an aviation type
Well,
character.
now he has a name in this one. His name is Jedediah.
Yeah, the funny thing about these Mad Max movies, especially the ones with Mel Gibson in them, is like there's very little continuity between like all 3 of them.
Facts.
And so like George Miller just enjoyed working with these actors, and so like he just cast them in basically the same role, but they were like completely different
Yeah,
characters.
he's like, listen, I'm having a great time. Let's just keep
Well,
going.
Mad Max is still Mad Max. Like Mel Gibson's character's, he's still Mad
Still
Max.
Max
but he just,
Rostakowski.
like he has camels now instead of a freaking dope
It's
car.
because he's out of gas. There's
It's
no gas.
so stupid.
well, they stole his car. That like he went
Yeah.
to Barter Town in
Yeah.
order to get his car back. That was like the
Yeah.
whole reason for being there.
Didn't he have not donkeys, camels though?
Camels.
There was something to do with camels.
Yeah,
Or-
the
well,
camels
he
were-
knew that Jedediah had camels with him or something.
Okay.
Well, Jedediah is the one who stole his car and sold it at Barter Town.
The
And so, like,
car
he-
was being pulled by the camels at the beginning of the movie.
Oh.
Fly Guy came along, hijacked the camels and the
Fly
cart,
Guy.
took it to Barter Town and traded it.
Thank you.
Mad Max went to get his shit back, and he had to say, "I want my stuff back." Well, you got nothing to trade.
Mm-hmm. I've got me. Yeah,
but
he
I
goes-
got me. I
yeah.
got my
can
skills,
work.
you know.
So then he goes up,
I feel like your brain just rebooted.
and
B.
we go from there.
Well, he's defending his movie.
His job was to kill Master Blaster and anti-entity. We would give him
His
his
car
shit back, plus
Anti-CT?
all the stuff he could carry.
Yeah.
That's the movie, and then we go to Lord of the Flies, and it gets really fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, but the first 45 minutes of this movie is great.
You
Yes.
think
And
so?
yeah.
Yes.
I'm not into it, dude.
Yeah.
I don't care about
It's a Mad
freaking-
Max movie until he goes out in the desert with the stupid helmet on his
until,
head.
until the gulag. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vader, do you remember when this movie came out? Everything about the marketing of this movie was centered around Tina Turner,
Mm-hmm.
and it was funny because like
She was huge back then.
Mel Gibson was like coming off of like
Yep.
Lethal Weapon,
Yep.
but everyone was just like, "Oh, Tina Turner's in this movie," and it's like her film debut, and she did a song for the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And
The song was
She did
huge.
2 songs, I think.
Yeah, there's one at the beginning and one at the
Yeah.
end, I think, right? Yeah. I didn't like Tina Turner in this movie. She completely took me out of it. Her like
I don't know
her
why.
weird little freaking castle in the sky with her ridiculous chainmail football helmeted thing. Like
What's wrong with that?
it was stupid.
It's what else was she supposed to wear?
Like, why is she? I created Barter Town, but
Maybe she
I
did.
lost it. I lost control to some freaking double dude down.
Because double dude, double dude, it's fucking Master Blaster.
Whatever.
you got Master and you got Blaster.
Yeah,
Sure.
You got the brawn and you got the brains.
Do you want? Can we even talk about that scene where the knock the helmet off of
Yeah.
freaking Blaster?
Yeah, he's
It's an iconic scene.
He's a giant.
He's got
Kind
Down
of,
syndrome.
Careful.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if we're supposed to talk about that, but it's like
Why we can't talk about
I don't
somebody's
know.
handicap?
No, I just don't know. Like I've never seen that part of the movie before, and like when that happened, I was like, oh Jesus, that was weird.
Well, yeah, and that's what gives Max pause because then suddenly Master runs in, who really was the duplicitous one, who was like, "I've been using this poor kid
Yeah.
to be my muscle," and he hasn't even known like really what he was in for. The kid is fucking smiling.
He's smiling. He's, like, having
he
a good
thinks
time.
He's playing a game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And like he doesn't even realize we're in a death match right now.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, I think he realized exactly what he was doing.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. It weirded me out. Like I was not expecting that.
Well,
was uncomfortable.
Master said that he has the mind of a child,
Right.
and you could tell that the guy wasn't fully aware of what was happening once like the helmet came off. So it was, I can remember watching that as a kid for the first time and just being like really shocked at like what he looked like, because you think because of that helmet that he's just like this monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
underneath.
think of him as a monster, and then when the helmet comes off, you see him as how he
So
is.
so
And it gives you a whole different, like, oh shit, now I feel weird about that.
yeah, I did feel very uncomfortable and weird about that whole scene after that. And I was like, oh God, I can't, like, it just threw me off. I didn't like that. It was really weird. I also didn't like the whole pig shit thing. They're like, what is Barter Town ran on?
Bullshit.
Pig shit.
What?
Pig shit.
Pig shit.
Pig shit. Bullshit. No, pig shit. It was just like, what?
I got no issue with that.
Bullshit. Who shit? You shit. Pig shit.
What are they feeding these pigs?
Grain, whatever.
What grain? There's nothing alive.
They're feeding
Humans.
them whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What is feeding the pigs? It's other people. They're feeding the pigs people.
Cool.
And then
Whatever.
they shit the shit out. And then they get the methane off of that. And then
You're not allowed to kill the pigs.
That bothers you?
It's
So what's
weird
everyone
and
else
stupid.
eating?
It's an apocalypse. Who the fuck knows what's going on in the apocalypse? It's all
But it's
kinds
like-
of weird shit
But
going on.
in order to like collect the methane, they would have to have some kind of a distillery system.
do.
No, they don't. It was all just open pits of shit. The one dude,
They were moving stuff on conveyor belts and putting them in the distillery things, and there was gas things. There's pipes and shit. What difference does it make? It just
it's
use your brain.
no,
and
no,
fucking
don't tell me to use my brain for this movie,
suspend
dude.
Suspend your fucking your sense of reality sometimes.
I just want to I
Listen.
just really want to reenact this whole thing that you guys are discussing. They're doing
The pig shit.
There's a methane lab down there.
Listen, dude,
Use your brain.
I could suspend my disbelief and believe that these people are driving around in giant V8 rigs that suck fuel down when fuel is like the most precious thing. I'm like, okay, whatever, I get it, fine. But now they got freaking a farm of pigs creating methane gas so that they can power something. What are they powering? There's nothing there that they
Shit
need to
makes
power.
methane.
The sign that says Thunderdome.
Yeah.
That's all they needed the power for.
There's lights up there. There's
No, they had electricity in Barter
there's
Town.
ovens and lights and
Ugh.
fans and
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole scene where Master shuts down like all the methane production,
Yeah.
and the entire city
That's
just
how
like
he-
goes to a
it's
standstill.
like embargo on. Whoop, faster. and that's the whole thing. Is
Who runs Barter
who controls
Town?
the
Yeah, yeah,
power
yeah.
controls the town.
No,
And
I get that. Yeah, that's fine. Tina Turner's mad that
Yeah.
the little guy has more power than her. I get it. I just think
it's her town,
I-
and he's like lords it over it. That he's
just-
the one that's the really controlling things.
Did you
If-
know that Tina Turner had to shave her head for this movie?
That was a wig.
Yeah, to make
Oh,
her wig
man.
fit.
Poor
She had
girl.
no problem doing that.
Yeah, she was like, whatever, give me the wig.
But you know what's interesting about this movie, and so like I think it was agreed that like pretty much unanimously that this is the least good Mad Max movie. And there's a story behind why this is. And so like after the Road Warrior hit, George Miller was kind of getting into TV, and he was trying to develop a Mad Max TV show. And it got really close to getting made, but the guy that they were going to use as the star of it to play Mad Max died in a horrific
no.
motorcycle accident.
Oh.
And then they decided like,
That tracks.
well, I don't want to make this without this guy, so let's make this movie. And when they were filming location or scouting locations for this film, George Miller's longtime production partner, a guy by the name of Byron Kennedy, died in a horrific helicopter accident. And so like George Miller was kind of dealing with like these two deaths in like quick succession with
Yeah,
one
what
another.
kind of juju is going on the
And-
set? Do they need some sage?
And so like he was in the middle of doing this this TV miniseries in Australia with this other guy named George Ogilvy, something
Sure.
like that. And because of like the 1-2 punch of these deaths, he was just like not in a good mental space. And he asked this guy, George, who he was working on this miniseries with, to come in and co-direct this movie with him. And so George Miller not being fully invested in the movie because of dealing with his grief and the fact that this is the only Mad Max movie that George Miller hasn't fully directed, he co-directed it, kind of lends to the idea that this movie, like has its flaws. Like it wasn't like the best foot forward that George Miller could have made for a Mad Max film.
They never really did any Mad Max shit in this movie until the very end. Then it was on a train, which was super lame because it's just going in one direction.
By
There's-
that point, you're kind of checked
yeah,
out.
I'm super checked out.
Yeah.
I seriously, I like when the freaking Peter Pan and the Lost Boys showed up in this
Yes.
movie. I lost it. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I checked out. And by the time, like you said, by the time the chase comes up, I was just like, gone.
Yeah, and it was so weird because what are you doing?
He just okay. The irony
look where it is from.
the irony that this website is called The Salt, and it says big companies bet on cleaner power from pig poop.
Where did you find
I
that?
don't know. You gotta send me a link to that so I can
Oh
put
my God.
He just fact checked me.
Go fuck yourself.
Vader's on the dark web right now, just like fucking fact checking.
Can you make energy from pig shit?
This
The
movie
guy's-
is real.
The guy's got a barn back there. Master Blaster's in the barn.
All right.
don't-
I give up. I give up.
I don't
It
trust
works.
the press.
Assault.com.
Assault.com. That's amazing.
I forget everything I had in my brain.
That's
it's
all right.
It's all just gone.
So, what was going on with the Peter Pan? I seriously did check out. Like, I had no idea what was going on. They thought he was a prophet. They thought he was
No,
Jesus.
Do I need to tell you that story too?
Yeah, kind
Okay,
of.
so there was like a plane full of people that crash landed wherever they are, and they found this little oasis. They dropped off the kids and they were like, we're going to go and try to find civilization. None of them made it back. Captain Walker was the pilot, and he left a message saying, like, this is our history. This is what we're trying to do. We'll come back to take you guys home, to rescue you. Well, that never happens because it's the apocalypse.
Yeah,
Right.
and
So
they-
all of these kids have kind of raised themselves waiting for Captain Walker, the savior, to come back.
and no one has ever made it that far into the Wasteland until Mel Gibson, and they think that he's Captain Walker, and so they bring him back, and they're waiting for him to kind of lead them to the promised land, Neverland, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a really weird tangent that this movie went on.
Yeah,
It was really weird.
Super weird. It was very Lord of the Flies.
I got more
and,
Peter Pan.
and Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for sure. Like it was Lord of the Flies without the killing each other, but very little Lost Boys.
This is also the only Mad Max film where the villain basically survives at the end and gets the best of Max, because Tina Turner basically she returns to Barter Town, and she's not overthrown.
Yeah,
like,
she's
she
just like, what a pair we make. Ha
Yeah,
ha,
and-
see you later.
and she spares him because like she's already defeated him, and it's just kind of like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And this was meant to be the last Mad Max movie.
So I'll see you in the
as well.
sequel.
It,
Max.
it was for a long time.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. All right. Final thoughts on Thunderdome, Vader.
I feel like we've only gotten halfway through the movie. But
Did you want to keep talking about it?
what?
What do you want? What else do you want to talk
Well,
about?
there's the big chase scene at the end.
It was shit.
Well,
It was.
that's been
Okay,
discussed.
I give it a 3.
It was nothing compared to the Road Warrior
All right.
chase scenes.
Yeah,
Right? Did you like
Are
it?
you yucking his yum right now?
Absolutely. What did you like about it?
It was just as good as almost as the second scene, except they were chasing a train.
Can you guys hang on a second while I construct a Thunderdome to throw you two in?
Let's go.
I'd fuck you up so hard.
Oh, don't even, dude.
He's gonna make you his hand puppet.
Take about 30 seconds.
I
You
can't.
both have to wear
No,
assless
I
chaps.
feel like
Here are the rules. I'm Tina Turner. I make the rules.
I feel like we get to the kids scene. The kids suck, and that's the end of the movie. What's your score? 3. My score's a 3. After the chase scene, and they all take off and go to Neverland in the plane. So okay,
What'd you think of the train?
that was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See, why are you so upset with me?
I'm
First
not
day-
upset. I'm not upset with anybody. We're
Okay.
good.
He's having a stroke.
Dude.
He's had a lot of different emotions today. I think he's rebooting, and like his program is going through all of the different settings.
Okay. You good?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Jude, final thoughts. Give it a rating.
This is the only movie that I had any kind of knowledge of, so I thought that the whole movie was going to be about the Thunderdome.
Hmm.
It wasn't. It's very weird.
It is.
God, I didn't hate it, but I was also like, this movie doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's like 2 different movies, so I will never watch it again. I am not upset that I had never watched it before. So that being said, like I don't hate it, but also it's not very good. And so I guess I'm gonna give it a 2.5. Nonsensical train rides out of
Okay.
5.
Kadish, final thoughts. Give it a rating.
So I have a little bit of nostalgia for this movie, but I think Vader's pretty spot on, where he basically says like, you know, the first third of this movie, which takes place in Barter Town, is good.
Yeah.
You know, the Thunderdome stuff is good, and then like the final kind of chase at the end is good. All the stuff with the kids and the, you know, kind of like Lost Boys type,
Yeah,
type
it's just
thing.
weird.
It's weird.
It derails the movie, like it slows down to a crawl at
Uh-huh.
that point. And it takes a while to get back going again. And when it does get going again, it's kind of like a rehash of the end of the second movie. Like I feel like the train chase versus like the tanker chase, it's basically the exact same thing. And the characters at the end, you know, the villains aren't as iconic as they were in the Road Warrior. So to me, like the movie really ends as soon as like Max gets banished into the gulag. And up to that point, I'm having a really good time with the movie. And then afterwards, it's kind of like, eh. So I have to basically agree with everyone else that this is, you know, a lesser rating. And I'm going to go with like, I guess, 2 Thunderdomes out of 5.
I like it.
This is a 1-star crap fest.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like any of it. I didn't like Mad Max showing up at Barter Town. I didn't care about Barter Town. I'm like, get back on the road and go do some cool ass shit. That's what I wanted to see. Like I could see him like, okay, we're in Thunderdome. He fights Master Blaster, and then he like escapes and runs away and gets back in his car, and then Tina Turner's mad at him for some reason, so they chase after. Like, I mean,
That would have been
a good movie, but that never happened.
Yeah.
And it was just like they spent way too much time in Barter Town. Thunderdome had some potential, but I just thought it was done really, really strange and goofy, and I did not like the reveal of Blaster. Is it? Yeah, Blaster, the big dude.
Yeah.
I didn't like that reveal. I thought it was cringy and weird, and I was like, don't do that.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't recommend this movie. Like, watch the first 2, and Thunderdome doesn't exist. Tina Turner's terrible and cringy. Her outfit is ridiculous. Her hair is ridiculous. I'm not like, okay.
You're crazy.
You look at like
She's perfectly fits the role.
oh, she good. Yes.
She's 80 years old here.
Goddamn.
I'm not kidding.
That's a lot of Photoshop.
Tina Turner in 2020 at 80 years old looks like J-Lo.
Like if you look at the other 2 villains, you know, the biker gang from the first movie, like don't mess with
assless
those.
chaps and shoulder pads are too much, but Tina Turner having some shoulder pads with chainmail on it's too weird for you?
No, I wasn't like, I didn't see her as a bad guy in this movie. It was just a weird choice, especially compared to the other 2 guys we got in the first 2 movies.
I thought she was okay.
The biker gang was creepy and scary. Like, you don't mess with those guys, they're gonna freaking kill you. The second one, like, yeah, the outfits were super strange, but those dudes would have straight up killed you. Like, Tina Turner was not intimidating to me in her freaking little high castle with her chainmail. I was just like, okay, this is just dumb. Sorry, I just didn't like it, man. I'm going to get a bunch of hate in the comments. I know I'm going to get a bunch of hate in the comments, but this movie is a 1-star crap fest. This thing sucks. I didn't like any of it.
Well, you're wrong, but that's
okay,
all right.
that's fair. Fine, whatever. We're all entitled to our opinion. Did you have a favorite moment? What's your favorite moment?
Probably the Thunderdome stuff.
Yeah.
When they're actually
Is that everybody?
in the Thunderdome.
Yeah.
The fight's cool until they get to the cringy part, I guess, because
it's just me. I'm not, if you didn't find it cringy, that's fine.
It didn't bother me at all.
Okay, fine. That's fine. Do you have a favorite moment in this movie? Is it the Thunderdome?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I liked like Vader. Like I liked the first part, and up until he gets gulagged, I even liked that part. And I felt like it was clear. Like the helicopter friend was the one that sent the monkey to give him the water to keep him alive because he felt bad. I was interested in that, and then it all just kind of like dissipated, and then we were like focusing on these kids, which was weird.
Mm-hmm.
The whole movie I enjoyed except for everything with the kids. It didn't make sense.
I'm going to get a chalkboard that says kids suck. And every time we watch a movie that has kids in it that
Just another
sucks,
mark?
I'm just put another mark behind me. That's going to be my background.
I like that. I have a huge chalkboard in the garage.
Perfect.
Did that monkey die like 9 times in this movie?
I forgot that there was a monkey in this movie.
I feel like the monkey should have died like 5 or 6 times.
Probably.
And then it just kept showing back up.
Yeah. Wasn't there like a prank? Never mind. I don't know. Cadis, did you have a favorite moment?
The Thunderdome.
Okay.
Yeah, like this whole movie is just based around the Thunderdome.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing anyone actually remembers from this film. So
Yeah.
Accurate.
That's what the film is named.
All right, guys, that's it for the Mad Max trilogy. Thank you guys for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Let us know what you think. What's your favorite Mad Max movie? Comment below. And if you're not already, hit the subscribe button. And don't forget, we are available on audio only. So if you go to Spotify or Apple iTunes, you can listen to this podcast in audio version if you don't want to have to watch the video, or if you're doing it on while you're driving or something. So check out our other platforms. We all
drive safe.
And drive safe. Yeah, we are out there, and we're on all the audio platforms. So check it out. And Vader, where can they find you on the socials, bro?
You can find me at MattVader74 on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere else, I think. And here on Saturday mornings as we talk about Star Trek or whatever the show of the week is that we're talking about.
Okay, cool. Jude?
You can find me at I am Jude Juju on Instagram and on TikTok. And we're also available on Discord. If you want to download the Discord app, we're always in there. We're chatting daily about movies. There's a bunch of different servers that we have like different topics we're talking about. We also do a trivia once a month for our club members through Discord at saltynerddiscord.com.
Nice. Matthew Kadish.
You can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish on Twitter. Kadishbooks.com takes you to my Amazon page. And if you go to saltynerd.com/rate, RATE, that'll help you to find our page on Apple Podcasts where you can leave us a 5-star rating. We're trying to get 200 5-star ratings so we can be officially accredited as movie reviewers on Rotten Tomatoes. So if you can hop on over there, or have a friend who has an Apple device, hop on over there and give us 5 stars. You don't have to leave us a review, just a rating will work out. We'd really appreciate it and help support the show.
All right, everybody, have a great day. We'll catch you guys next week. And as always, stay salty, my friends.